Hey everybody! How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing great. I have done many videos here about the subject of the so-called national debt, and I have said many times we have no debt. The whole concept, the whole notion of the national debt is a complete fallacy. It's a hoax, basically. The 20 trillion outstanding in treasuries that is supposedly represents our debt. All that is the fact that the government over the last 240 years since the beginning of the United States spent 20 trillion more dollars than it took away in taxation. So those 20 trillion dollars piled up in bank accounts, and they are being held in the form of treasuries. We paid for everything. There is no debt. And a treasury is a dollar. Basically, it's a dollar. The only distinction being it has a term, meaning a duration, and a coupon, which is an interest payment. Okay? And people naturally hold those dollars in the form of treasuries because they can earn some interest. Okay, it's exactly like you taking your money from your checking account and putting it into your savings account. And if you want the money back in your checking account, you just tell your bank, and it just debits your savings account and credits your checking account, and boom, you have the money back. Same thing with the government. The government redeems bonds and notes and bills all the time. In fact, I'm going to give you numbers that are astonishing and mind boggling. But the redemptions are the same thing as, the bank switching your money from your checking account to your savings account. All right. That's how the government pays it back, so called pays it back, because what's bad about this whole situation with this massive, monumental ignorance about the debt is that it will ultimately cause us to enact policies that will really destroy our economy or harm millions and millions and millions of people for no particular reason. I've said in the past that a bad belief system is like a disease in the body. If you don't eradicate that disease, it can kill the body. All right? Now, the numbers I'm about to give you are totally, they're real numbers. They come right off the daily Treasury Statement. So it's not like I made these numbers up or I have some secret, inside information or something like that. Everyone can get them. They're free. The Treasury puts it out daily on its website. I talk a lot about the daily Treasury Statement, which is a fantastic resource. Hardly anybody uses it. I'm the only one, and that's why when it comes to my market forecast and stuff, I'm right all the time. And I do sell a course. If you want to learn about this and learn how to follow it, my course, Understanding the Daily Treasury Statement, for 99 bucks. I've said in the past it's going to be the greatest 99 bucks you've ever spent. Because it's really going to open up your eyes. But anyway, I took a look at that again today because I got in a conversation with somebody, and I reminded them that, on a yearly basis, the Treasury redeems or pays back. I've seen it up to 67, almost 70 trillion in a single year. Now, nobody talks about that. Nobody knows about that, but it happens. It's right there on the Treasury Statement. The world doesn't stop. There's no hyperinflation. The dollar doesn't collapse. There's no spike in interest rates. Everything's fine. So today, I haven't checked it out in a while. I went to the daily Treasury Statement and I got for September 30th, which is the end of the fiscal year. So I wanted to see the entire year, because the daily Treasury Statement breaks down the numbers on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, and on a yearly basis. By the way, it's a really cool document because it's like actually looking at the checkbook of the federal government of the United States of America. It has every single line item of spending or withdrawals from the checkbook, and it has every single line item of revenue or deposits. It's just like looking at your own checkbook, okay? Anyway, September 30th, there's a table there called Table 3A. All right, if you scroll down, if you go there, and I'll put a link up here. If you scroll down to Table 3A, and if you look at the total redemptions for the year, that is fiscal year 2016, which started October 2015 and just ended last September 30th, the total redemptions, now get you ready for this? Again, it's not made up or anything, it's all on there. Total redemptions, 94 trillion. 94 trillion. 94 trillion in 1 year. Nobody heard about this. Nobody said anything. Nobody did, it's, seriously. So here we are, creating this national, calamity about the so-called 20 trillion in debt, which we don't have. It's money that's been paid, and like I said, people just holding it in a treasury, which is basically a savings account of the U.S. government. But when they say, how are we going to pay that back? You just paid back. They just paid back 94 trillion last year. Nothing happened. Nobody even knew. We're all going about our lives, going to our jobs, doing whatever. So you can see how this whole entire, idea of the debt is totally a manipulation. It is a effort of basically propagandizing people into believing, and this is being done by very, very sinister and cynical and self-interested operations like the Pete Peterson Foundation, the Fix the Debt, all these organizations that, underlying their real motives are all about just taking the money away, taking the public's wealth away and having it for themselves. They want more and more and more, and they want you to have nothing. They want you to have nothing. So their strategy is to basically pump out this never-ending stream of propaganda about the debt to scare you. What about your children? This is going to be, something terrible left to your children and your grandchildren. It's absolutely not true. This is a blessing to them. This is 20 trillion. If we didn't have the 20 trillion now, we'd be 20 trillion less in wealth. But these organizations, they want you to have nothing. They want everything for themselves. Pete Peterson, he's scum. Fix the Debt, all of them, they are scum. They want everything that you have, and if you have Social Security or if you're about to get Social Security, they're coming for that too. And they're going to get it. They are going to get it because most of the public, all of the public, with the exception of maybe 2 people, myself and maybe somebody else, they don't understand, and they buy into this shit. They buy into this garbage and this nonsense. They're coming for everything that you have and your pension and everything that you have worked for. They are coming for that, and they are using this very slick and clever, and believe me, they're backed by lots and lots of money. This Peterson asshole, he's got billions of dollars, and they're coming for every penny that you have because they want it. They want it for themselves, and they want it for their casino games. And if they blow it out like they do every single time, guess what? We're going to have to give them back their money like they did here with the banks. None of the homeowners got any help at all. The banks got trillions. Same thing in Europe. Banks get paid back 100 cents on the dollar. From who? From Greek pensioners and Spanish pensioners and Portuguese and Italians who worked hard. And then when they went to get their money, there's no money left anymore. You got to give the banks back their money. They are coming to get it from you. So we paid off 94 trillion, folks. 94 trillion. It's out there. Like I said, this is not some top secret information. This is not inside information. It's not like Mike Norman has some special line to some, contact within the government. No, it's all public information. All public information. 94 trillion. But they have constructed a story to come after every single penny that you have. And they're going to get it, folks. They are going to get it. I'm telling you, they are going to get it. Anyway, I'll put the link up here. You can check it out for yourself. And by the way, please, and I know not all of you, but some of you, on the daily Treasury Statement, just as a note, all figures are in millions. It says it right on the top. So don't look at the number and say, Mike, that's only 94 million, not 94 trillion. What are you talking about? No, it's 94 million. So that's 94 trillion. Please be a little bit smart about that. I nearly went crazy one time trying to explain to some idiot that when all figures are quoted in millions, that you have to add a million on to whatever. If it's a 1, that means it's 1 million. If it's a 94 million, that means it's 94 million, which is 94 trillion. Maybe for some of you that's hard to understand, but figure it out, okay? Bye-bye.